All right, my fellow ponies. Well, it seems that the lead singer of the band for PlayStation has come out and said that they do not have enough IPs, which we all know is crap. If you've been playing PlayStation as long as I have, you know there are plenty of IPs that PlayStation could be working on. But they chose to invest in Concord, which pretty much already got shut down. I'm not going to sit here and gloat about Concord. We all know what happened. That game clearly wasn't made for the average gamer like myself, the straight man. It was made and catered to a specific community, and they didn't show up to support that game. You know, the same people that are always over there on Twitter freaking out on us, telling us blah, 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 that we don't know what we're talking about, and that's the way of the future, and whatever else. Those people that say that this is what gamers want, this is what modern gamers want, modern gamers clearly did not show up to support that game. So now you have the COO or whatever, Hideo or I'm not even going to try to say his name because I can't. He comes out and he says that they do not have enough IP. And you know what the honest truth is about PlayStation, and as long as I've been a PlayStation fan since the PS1, PlayStation has always went out and secured third-party deals to boost their exclusivity on the PlayStation platform. And PlayStation 5 is no different from that. They've secured a temporary exclusivity deal with Black Myth Wukong, which is doing very well. That game is about 17 million copies sold through already, about 7 million away from passing Elden Ring, which is absolutely bananas because at best, Black Myth Wukong, I love the game, don't get me wrong, like I love it, but it is a frustratingly broken, unbalanced experience. Like it just is. Like most people today we love the game obviously for those flaws, and at the end of the day, Elden Ring is just a much better polished experience that literally, I don't know. Like Elden Ring is a far superior experience to Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is good, and it's fun, and it looks beautiful, but gosh dang, man, Elden Ring is a game of the generation. Like that game is so good, so good. But you know, let's get over here and talk about this. Third-party support deals. PlayStation goes out of their way to secure these deals to boost the exclusivity on the PlayStation platform, but they also have homegrown studios that have put out multiple games. Maybe some of them aren't big. I think is what happened with PlayStation along the way is they started going all in on everything, and if games didn't meet a certain quota, they started axing teams. Like, I mean, think about it. Evolution Studios, one of the best arcade racing creators, they shut them down. They shut them down. They literally shut down Evolution Studios right after Drive Club. I have more time in Drive Club than both Gran Turismo Sport and Gran Turismo 7 combined. That's how much I loved Drive Club. Drive Club was freaking phenomenal. What an incredible game. The guys over at Evolution Studios created an absolute masterpiece, but it didn't meet the PlayStation sales quotas. I mean, so what do? They can them. Zipper Interactive, SOCOM. SOCOM was a freaking incredible game. What happened to SOCOM? SOCOM 4 comes out. I loved it. I thought that was an incredible game. I mean, I absolutely loved the original trilogy more because it was more like realistic. But then when they changed it up a little bit and made SOCOM 4 and kind of made it more like an action type, game, I was all for it. I was like, yeah, I love this evolution. I love SOCOM. And we got SOCOM Confrontation. So why not? Why not have SOCOM 4 being more... Dude, the first time I heard the crack of the headshot on freaking SOCOM 4, I was like, dang, this game's cool. I loved it. I thought it was good. I loved that story, that linear experience in the PlayStation 3 era, like the linear experience was like my jam. I was just barely getting to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm starting to like open world games a lot. Now I'm mostly like into open world games. I love open world games. I love that I can just literally turn my brain off and explore open world games. I love that, man. And when you've had a hard day at work, just being able to come home and do something like that is absolutely phenomenal. But SOCOM, man. Literally, they could go back and remake the first 3 games, put them out, bring in a first-person shooter mode as well. Do both, third person, first person. Just build out a good freaking type of, even if it's just team deathmatch. Seriously, team deathmatch. People would play it. People love SOCOM. They just want something that looks good, that feels good, that's going to give them that that adrenaline rush from getting in there and playing it. SOCOM, perfect right there. Killzone. What happened to Killzone? We get the last Killzone at the beginning of the PlayStation 4 generation, and then all of a sudden they're just like, meh, who cares about our first-person shooter, guys? We've got the Call of Duty rights. PlayStation, that's what the problem is with PlayStation, is they put so much time and effort into securing these third-party exclusivity deals that they just don't put enough legwork into bringing up and creating and evolving the studios that they already have to keep making the amazing, wonderful IPs that we all love. I mean, Siphon Filter. Let's talk about Siphon Filter, man. The last Siphon Filter we saw was on the PlayStation 2. I loved Siphon Filter. I love those games. I played 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation 1, and then we got like the Siphon Filter. Gosh, what was that? There's one of them that came out on the PS2, and then like nothing. There was no more. You know, you've got Jak and Daxter. You've got Ratchet and freaking Clank. You've got oh my gosh, what was his? Gosh dang it! What's the one? The raccoon. Sly Cooper. You got Sly Cooper. You've got so many freaking games that PlayStation could be bringing out. Evolution Studios, the makers of Drive Club, they could have 100% built a game to compete with Forza Horizon, but they let them go. You got Gravity Rush 2. You've got PlayStation, you got Japan Studios they got rid of. They literally just closed the developers who made The Getaway 1, The Getaway 2. They just closed London Studios last year. Like, what are they even talking? What is PlayStation doing? They could have they could have literally remade The Getaway. The Getaway was so cool. They oh my gosh. If they would have just remade that game and been like, oh man, we're bringing this to PlayStation 5 with Unreal Engine 5 and blah, blah, blah. Dude, you realize how cool that would have been if PlayStation would have, like, literally just go back into their back catalog and start building some of these games. Like, what are you thinking, PlayStation? Xbox is literally eating your lunch when it comes to putting out games now. You forced Xbox into a corner to where they had to go and literally buy Call of Duty just to remain, like, in the game, and like, you're gonna come out and say that you don't have any IPs. You have so many IPs that I love. This generation of PlayStation 5 has literally been, I love the games. I think they're fun. But at the same time, this could have been the Magnus Opus. Yeah, is that how you say that? Magnum opus of PlayStation. The culmination of 5 freaking generations of literal greatness. You could have made, oh my gosh, this could have been incredible. You could have built and put out some of the most technically advanced, beautiful freaking sequels to all of those games that your PlayStation fans love. And you know what? They would have been like, oh, SOCOM on Unreal Engine 5. Man, wow. Sly Cooper on Unreal Engine 5. Wow. I mean, even your in-house studio, like the Decima engine, SOCOM on the Decima engine. Have you not seen Death Stranding? It looks freaking awesome. That could have powered a new SOCOM. There's just so much out there. Resistance. So many freaking amazing PlayStation first party developed freaking games and IPs. And we get Concord. Really, PlayStation? Really? Come on, man. Really? Is that the best we can do? You canceled Fractions 2. Why? I guarantee Fractions 2, even if it was like buggy, busted, broken, whatever, and it launched and it came out and there was enough to do, people would have played that significantly longer than Concord. And you could have been like, all right, guys, look, feeding this game is just going to be too much, so we're going to drip feed it, and people would still literally be playing that today. Uncharted 4. Where is a new Uncharted game? Why are we not hearing about any more Uncharted? Why are we delving? I mean, The Order 1887. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Ready at Dawn is no longer around. Meta closed them down. You could have had them. You could have had them building out a bigger, better, open part of The Order. Because you know what? Everybody that bought it, we all said the same thing. Awesome freaking game. We love it. We want more. How do you get, oh no, we don't want this studio no more. Get away. I realized that it didn't do that great because it was like 6 hours. If you would have just adjusted the price to like $29.99, instead of being greedy like Sony likes to do, if you would have said, hey guys, we got this game, $29.99. Oh yeah, what was that other game that came out like that? Oh, it was called Hellblade. It was $29.99, and guess what? People liked it. People bought it. If you would have just done that, if you would just learn to price your games a little better, like I get, even $39.99, the graphics were freaking superior. That could have been worth the extra $10. That could have been worth the extra $10, and I don't think you would have got as much flack, and you would have sold more copies. That's the whole thing, is people just want to feel like they're getting something for their money. Obviously, like people like me, like your Wells that buy all your stuff, we're okay with paying our $60 for our 6-hour game. Like we're okay with that because we're like, yeah, it's a Sony first party banger and it looks incredible. There's nothing on Xbox that looks this good. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got your Wells out there that will buy this stuff, but guess what, man? Like, some of us are moving to PC. Like, I've already moved to PC and I get all of your bangers on PC now. I just need Spider-Man 2. Can you give me Spider-Man 2? We got God of War coming out this month. We just need you to start doing day and date. But PlayStation. We know that you have plenty of IP, but you're sitting on them. You could have already pumped out a next gen version of Bloodborne 2, or Bloodborne. You could have already done that and sold more copies. You could have already put that on PC and sold a lot more copies. I guarantee you Bloodborne is significantly better than Black Myth Wukong. Significantly better. And if it was on PC, it would be booming right now. Elden Ring opened the door. Like, blew the freaking door wide open with the amount of sales. People want those Souls games. They want that challenge. They want that now. And you've got Black Myth Wukong filling in the gaps when you've already got significantly better games. You could do Demon Souls. Put Demon Souls on PC. I guarantee you will sell the crap out of that game. Put Bloodborne on PC. I guarantee you will sell the crap out of that game. I get Sony that you want to try to get into the whole Fortnite craze. Like, I get it, but as a longtime PlayStation fan, I do not believe that it is the platform holders' problem to build out a live service game like that. It's not your MO. Your PlayStation, that's where people go to play those games. Your PlayStation, your MO is to build the most technically superior first-party single-player games with the shallowest of multiplayer, like our old games like SOCOM and all of that stuff, I'm not saying that the multiplayer was bad. It's just when I was a PlayStation fan, I was a single player bro. I was like, yeah, I'm just doing my single player games. I got Call of Duty for all that. Your only chance of survival, Mr. PlayStation, is to go back to what you do the best. There's nobody out there that can match the quality and content that you build. There's nobody. I mean, Xbox is not even your competition anymore. You are your very own competition now. PlayStation, you are your own competition. You're in a competition with yourself, and you are chasing things that don't matter and listening to employees that don't know what they're talking about. Like that whole Trump election in 2016 literally broke these people. They are so freaking insane right now. They needed Concord, actually. Honestly, they needed Concord to show them that nobody out there cares about that shit. Nobody cares about it. It is not monetizable. Period. Nobody cares about that shit. The only reason you've been able to sneak it in to so many different games is because people already knew, loved, and trusted those IPs. Now, you haven't had a second game come out for any of those IPs yet. After hoodwinking your community into buying that and then getting that. Like I mean, yeah. I mean, your sequels might not do as well because now people are gonna have trust issues after playing The Burning Shores. You know what I mean? Like, I've kind of got trust issues. I didn't want to see Aloy go like that. I didn't care about her sexuality or anything. I didn't care. Like, I didn't even fantasize about her in that way. I was like, dude, I like Aloy. She's a cool character. I like that whole, you know, take the world on her shoulders and like, it was cool. It was kind of believable for the most part. I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool. Like, she's got that Hunger Games, you know, girl look to her and stuff. I was like, all right, this is cool. I like Aloy as a character, as a person. I like Aloy. You know, I think that her outfits and everything were done very tasteful, and I like that. And yes, I do kind of agree that the female characters in games do need to be, I mean, obviously they still need to look good. They still need to be like, oh yeah, she looks good, because you can't just have a bunch of Concord women running around in your games. They have to still look good and be appealing, but at the same time, like, yeah, like be clothed and look like they're out there actually. I mean, like, guys get cool armor. I think girls should be able to get the cool armor too. You know what I mean? Just find a way to like put your freaking your devs in check. Like, seriously, go in there Monday morning and be like, all right, guys, we let you put out Concord. We literally had to pull Concord off the shelf 11 freaking hours or 11 days later because nobody gives a shit about your feelings. Period. Like, they don't care about your politics or your feelings or any of that shit. Nobody cares. That game was literally, that is like the literal freaking game that was literally made for that community that keeps cheering them on. And all the little journalists that are like, yeah, this game is so good because it's got so much diversity and blah, blah, blah. And then nobody showed up for it. Nobody showed up for that game. Literally nobody. And you look at that, and if you're the developer, if I'm the developers, if I'm Firewalk Studios and I'm thinking about that game right now, I'm like, okay, guys, our jobs are on the line. What's more important? Our stupid ass politics that nobody seems to give a shit about, because guess what? They're all just like us. We all live in the same bubble. And oh yeah, I forgot. None of them people actually give a shit about the other people. It's all about them. That's it. It has nothing. It is that bubble is so ready to pop, man. And once people start to understand that, like, look, nobody has our back. We all just try to keep each other miserable. Man, I used to be a Democrat for a long time, and like, I was always miserable. I was always angry. I was always upset and pissed off. And then like, the people around me were always angry and always miserable and always pissed off and always upset and always broke. And there was always this problem and that problem, and everything was falling down around them and blah, blah, blah. And it was like everybody was in that damn circle. Well, guys, when I moved away from that and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with the whole politics stuff, dude. I don't even care. I'm sick of being angry, and I don't want to go over there in the Republican aisle and be a fearful little dude. Man, life has been so much better for me. Like, I just don't give a shit, dude. The politicians are the worst people on the freaking planet. They are the biggest lying scumbags ever. And to align yourself so closely with a party or with other people that you don't even give a shit about like you don't, like, be honest, you don't care. Like, you literally don't care. Why? You literally virtue signal and say shit that you don't care about just so that you don't, just so that you fit in. Like, seriously, I much rather would just be an introvert and not even give a shit about any of that stuff. Just go to work, come home, play my video games. But I can't do that anymore because you keep putting this shit in my video games now. I literally would, I would keep buying your video games. Seriously, I would, and I would just play them just so I don't have to deal with that shit. So I do respect you, developers, and I do give a shit about what you guys think. I do care. And yes, there needs to be diversity. There does, obviously. I mean, white guys are not the only people to play your video games. I promise you, man. Like, everybody plays video games. It's like a $200 billion industry a year. There are a lot of people in every country, literally every ethnicity, but we are all the same exact damn race. All of us, we are all human race, and we all play video games. It doesn't matter. But yes, I would like to see more black characters. I'd like to see more. Man, I really love freaking Kay Vess. I think she's awesome, and having a Latino play Kay Vess, oh, dude, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. There's some games that I absolutely enjoy, and like, some people just go out of their way to call it woke, but then when I look at the situation and look at the game, I'm like, that actually freaking worked out. I mean, Kay Vess, brand new character, nobody ever knew of her, never heard of her in the Star Wars universe, comes out, she's Latino. I was like, hell yeah. That is what I want to see more of. I don't want to see more of, like, Sector and Cyrax being turned into female characters. That shit annoyed me. Janet Cage is when I walked away from Mortal Kombat. I probably won't buy no more Mortal Kombat because that's just stupid. Make another character. Oh wait, you already did. You had Cassie Cage, his daughter. Perfect. Why the hell is there Janet Cage? Why not just bring Cassie Cage over? Seriously. I don't know what the hell's going on in game development or with Sony or with all of this shit, but it seems like Sony is at the freaking is at the corner of this stuff, and I guess you got to destroy it to build it back up again. If that's the case, fine. Hurry up, get it over with. Just come on, bring your stuff out, destroy everything, whatever. I personally don't like to see what's going on with Ubisoft right now. I'll make another video on that. The whole thing with their stock market going down over Star Wars is uncalled for. There's a lot of people out there beating that game for no reason whatsoever. It is not woke. I mean, obviously they could have done a lot of different things to make the gameplay even more immersive than it was. But I mean, for $70, what you're getting out of that, I mean, obviously I would, if you're only going to go through that game for the story, just wait till it goes on sale. If you want to actually explore the world and like do all of the other stuff, because that card game in there, there's like, I don't ever play the card games. Like when I was playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that shit made me so mad when I had to stop and play it. But that Sabacc or whatever it is, that Sabacc on Star Wars, I was like, dude, this game's actually pretty freaking cool. Like, this is cool. Like, I was into it. I was actually playing it. I didn't go back and play a whole bunch more, but I was like, dude, I could actually sit and play this game. If I was bored enough in this game, this is the first mini game they've ever made in a game that I actually, like a card game or whatever, that I'm actually like, wow, dude, I could actually see myself trying to learn and get better at this because this is kind of cool. There was so much immersiveness in Star Wars, but I think that, and I guarantee it, in a month or so, we'll come back and we'll revisit Star Wars Outlaws, and everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, you know what, I guess that game wasn't really that bad. Like, what the hell? Why was I thinking? I call it the Ubisoft tax, man. Every time they come out with a new game, everybody's there to just bash it, dude. I mean, they are working around the clock to try to take down Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, look, I've been playing Assassin's Creed for a very long time. And they've always, this is the first time though that they've actually used a historical figure as an assassin. Usually they're their own person, they're their own new protagonist or whatever. This is the first time that they actually have a a historical person as an assassin, and oh man, like I don't even understand why it's so divisive or divisive among my fellow gamers. Like Yasuki, like he was cool in Black Samurai, yeah, Black Samurai, yeah. Like he was cool in that game, he was cool in the anime, but now all of a sudden he's in Assassin's Creed and everybody hates him. Like, you guys got to make it make sense sometimes. Like you have to. I honestly, guys, in closing this video, I'm just gonna tell you guys, as somebody that loves to play video games, I love to play video games. I see the shows with you guys. We watch the, you know, like the showcases and the things like that, or the previews for games and stuff, and I see that game right then and there, and I'm like, dang, I want to play that, and so I do. I buy it and I play it. I don't sit and listen to anybody else's bullshit about anything before I buy and play a game. I look at things that I see and I make my decision from that, and then after I'm done, after I buy the game and I play it, you know, if I play it for a little while and I'm just like, yeah, you know what, I'm not feeling it, I don't want to play it. I don't come out here and just start bashing everything that I buy. And normally you guys always wonder, like, hey man, you give this game a 10 and out of 10, because I fully enjoyed the experience. I fully enjoyed the experience, guys, and you know, being able to get through a game, you know, like, I mean, like Forspoken, man, you guys keep getting mad at me for that, and I'm like, I love that game. I thought it was freaking incredible. The movement, the fluidity of that game, the world was beautiful. I loved Forspoken. I even liked Frey as a character. I thought she was pretty cool. She didn't annoy me. She didn't seem woke. None of that. It was just pretty cool. You know, even the new Saints Row. I get like everybody being mad about them changing out and get rid of Johnny Gat and everybody else. I never gave a shit about Saints Row. I never cared about that game. I bought Saints Row because I was like, this looks kind of cool. You know, honestly, to tell you the truth, I like the color purple. I thought the color purple was cool. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a try. I like that purple. That looks cool. I got it. I ended up playing around with it for a while, and I was like, all right, cool. This is a pretty average open world game. I get to explore. I get to have fun. I get to do what I normally would do in an open world game. Not bad. The combat feels good. The rolling mechanic, all of that stuff. I was like, all right, this isn't terrible. I mean, the driving mechanics felt okay. I was like, this is a pretty decent experience. The story's kind of not there, but I mean, there were some funny beats along the way. I was like, all right, this is not too bad. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I kind of like it. You know, I got to make my own character, which I was like, I didn't have to be Johnny Gat. I was like, okay, that's cool. I like the fact that I can make my own character. That kind of stuff is interesting to me. I like to play video games, my friends. I enjoy playing video games. And when I get a game and I play it and I'm into it and I can beat it and I can sit there and enjoy the experience and enjoy the world and enjoy the visuals, and there's a lot of things that just kind of come together. And when I finish a game, you know, even Suicide Squad, man, they didn't lose me until freaking Mrs. Freeze. That's when Suicide Squad lost me, and I was like, yeah, this is dumb. Suicide Squad, the actual campaign, playing through that game, I thought was okay. I had zero issues with it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I was playing as Captain Boomerang. I went through that whole story. I damn near cried when I saw Superman beat the freaking hell out of Wonder Woman, man. I was like, gosh dang, dude. My freaking favorite superhero just smashed Wonder Woman. And I love Wonder Woman. I'm a DC fan. Like, I love DC Comics, and seeing my favorite superhero obliterate another one of my favorite superheroes, I was like, gosh damn, dude. These guys went all in on this. And by the end of the story and the campaign and seeing what happened, you know, with like the Suicide Squad, I was like, okay, I get it. You know, they were evil. They weren't coming back. You know, Brainiac had them, whatever. I get it. It made sense to me. I was like, all right, I can accept that. Did I want a Suicide Squad game? No, I didn't want a damn Suicide Squad game. I wanted a Superman game. Superman is my favorite superhero. I wanted a Superman game. At the end of the day, guys, you got to understand that, like, the developers that are building our games right now, it's not the freaking corporations like PlayStation or everybody else coming down on them being like, you need to make Bud Light worthy video games. No, it's the developers, bro. They are literally stuck in their own little bubble. That whole Donald Trump thing freaking broke them. Absolutely freaking broke them. They're like, oh my gosh. And the funny thing is, it's like, It's like Hillary Clinton? Really? Really? You guys are going to freak out over Hillary Clinton, dude? Seriously? I mean, if you guys want a good president, vote for RFK. Vote for RFK or Donald Trump. Yeah, Kamala Harris? Really? Really? I don't know, man. Like, I was a Democrat for so freaking long, but I feel like that party left me a long time ago, man. They left me a long time ago. When Obama started getting us all rowdy and like angry and stuff and like get in their face and stuff. When he started saying stuff like that, like get in their face, and I was like, why, dude? I didn't really understood it, and I'm not that kind of person. Like, I grew up in a neighborhood where you get in somebody's face, you're throwing a punch. Like I don't play like that. I'm not going to go sit and just jump in somebody's face and start yelling at them unless I'm willing to fight that person. Like, that's how I grew up. So, like, getting in somebody's face, I was just like, what is this dude even talking about, man? Like, this is stupid. You know, like yelling at somebody and trying to make them believe like you believe. No, man, that's going to push people away. That's just going to create like a wedge, a divide between people. And I don't want to divide myself from anybody. I literally follow both parties on Twitter because I don't want to live in a freaking bubble. And I kind of feel like with these developers nowadays and the journalists, you know, the gaming journalists and stuff like that, they are taking gaming in a very destructive path, my friends. It's destructive. It's not good. It's not healthy for the gaming. For gaming in general, it's not healthy for us. It's not healthy for, you know, for the kids that are gonna play these games with. I don't think anybody's kids should be subjected to anything that adults are doing. Period. I don't think that they should. I mean, obviously, if you've got like I don't know. See, I don't even try to wade into that shit. I feel like we're at a point as a society where something's got to give. And we need to start respecting each other and respecting what other people like. I like a lot of the games that have come out lately. I think they're fun. I think they're playable. I'm getting a good experience out of them. I absolutely loved Star Wars Outlaws. I thought it was a great game. I liked Suicide Squad. I liked Saints Row. I liked freaking all of the games that I've played. Like, a lot of the games that I've played and reviewed, out of all the games that I've bought and haven't beaten, that's where I'm at, my friends. That's where I'm at. I like video games. I like to play video games. So I know that PlayStation has plenty of IPs that they could 100% remake and put out and build a much better, stronger PlayStation. Like I said, 5th generation, this should have been the magnum opus. Sony, what were you thinking? This could have been your magnum opus. This could have pushed you over the freaking sunset and into PlayStation 6 territory, and then you could have been like, we're going to PC. But no, you chose wrong. And now you've only got Concord to thank for it. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.